You're listening to the Geekscape Network.
Time to fire up the VCR. This one's my favorite. That was gold.
Welcome to Analog Jones in the Temple of Film. I'm Steve.
And I'm Matt.
We're a VHS podcast that looks at the box art trailers behind the scenes. And it's another dartboard month. Random selection. Matt, what did I select?
We're watching Antitrust with Ryan Phillippe from 2001.
As graduating students of the Stanford University Computer Science Department, you have a magnificent foundation.
So pretentious.
The guy knows how
the
to
guy's
get
a
people's
fascist
attention.
monopolist.
Exactly. The guy knows how to get people's attention. He does, man.
Shut up!
Hello?
Milo? This is Gary Winston. I've heard great things about your work.
Okay, I don't know who this is, but your timing really blows because I just saw him in a live chat.
Well, I'd love to show you some of the things we're doing here.
Who was it?
You don't want maybe 20 programmers with the mastery it's going to take to change the world.
You gotta see this. Digital canvas.
Doesn't Bill Gates have something like that?
Bill, who? What would you do with $1 billion, Milo?
What do you think?
I think we should sleep on it.
This is the technology that will fuel business for the next 30 years.
Can you get this done in time to meet your date?
With you, I can.
Pretty famous around here. To geniuses. I'm Lisa, by the way. He's buying up pretty much everything. Cable companies, baby bells.
Check this out.
It's amazing. Who's doing all this?
Somebody, yeah.
Every time I get jammed up, Gary comes up with something. Are you okay?
No. I keep my journal right next to my bed. A week ago it disappeared. Doesn't it seem kind of strange?
I think it's part of a camera.
I need to tell you something.
Teddy's been killed.
Teddy was onto something very specific. There's got to be a connection, Alice. I can feel it.
Hi, Milo.
He says that any kid working in his garage can put him out of business. It's almost like they know what every kid's doing.
He's building this network of satellites.
Seem kind of jumpy, Milo.
Hurry up.
You're not losing your hold on him, are you?
Why don't you just do something about that girl, Lisa?
We got our eyes on her.
The guy's invested billions on getting there first. He'll do anything.
It's a cutthroat business we're in, Milo.
How do you let go of a secret without telling the wrong person?
Who knows who they're paying?
There's something I need to tell you.
Good chess player always knows his opponent's moves before he makes them.
I know how his mind works. It's gone way too far already.
In the real world, when you kill people, they die. This isn't a game.
I know what you're doing, Milo. I just want to know that it's not affecting your work.
Yep, this is I would say after this is like a Scream like thriller. Like after Scream we get these put together all these young actors that are hot and fresh.
Yeah, we get a lot of these teen-led movies. They all had the posters with the floating heads. They all did it.
Everything seems bright, glossy, blue.
Yeah, this is very late 90s, early 2000s. Like, this is a vibe. And this is definitely one of those movies in that lump.
Yep, and it is, the centerpiece is two white men.
Yeah, very, all white people pretty much, except for Richard Roundtree, who is a detective in this. Everyone else in this movie's white.
Yeah, and clearly this movie is playing up on the whole Steve Jobs thing.
Actually, I think at this time it was Bill Gates.
Was
they
it
were
Bill
going
Gates?
after.
Well, I was wondering it was two things, because on the cover that you can see on IMDb, that is clearly, to me, Steve Jobs.
It does look like Steve Jobs,
So
yeah.
I think they're combining it, but then they're like, what if Bill Gates and Steve Jobs were evil?
Which we know that they are.
I don't know if Bill Gates is.
Yeah, Bill Gates is just kind of, I think he's a little shitty. You know?
He might, yeah.
But I think Steve Jobs was like the real asshole. He was the bad dude. He did some shady shit.
Well, he was just narcissistic, super leader, alpha, control freak.
Yeah. Megalomaniac.
He did some amazing things. At the same time, I would never want to work for that asshole.
No.
In hell. No.
Yeah, so we've got a early 2000s tech thriller is where we're at.
Yes.
For the kids. Tech thriller for the kids.
And it's like 4 years too late.
Yeah, it's late. This movie should have came out honestly like 98 maybe.
Well,
yeah.
Cuz
like 97.
Of course, MGM would fuck it up
Yeah.
at this time period where they're just like hemorrhaging money.
This is also like the same time that they put out like Rollerball and just like
that's what I'm saying, hemorrhaging money.
Just dumb shit. Just like dumb shit. Past its prime too. Like Rollerball and Antitrust just came a little too late.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean, Rollerball had a lot more than just the time that was wrong with it.
Well, yeah, but I'm among other things.
No, I get it. Like MGM, like even the Carrie 2s that came out like 98, 99, a lot of their stuff was just tanking.
Yeah.
They were bleeding money.
Right.
You know, and it's just, I mean, have they ever actually recovered?
No. I mean, they're on their last leg now, hoping that like the revival of Orion Pictures is going to save them, but they are probably on the outs.
Well, Child's Play worked.
Yeah.
That made a good amount of money.
It made decent money, yeah.
So, but you need more than one.
They need more. Yeah, right now what MGM is trying to do through Orion is revive all their dead properties. In reviving all these franchises cheaply, hopefully find, Golden Goose, and maybe that's going to be Child's Play. Maybe that's going to be maybe it's going to be Bill and Ted. Maybe it's going to be one of these other things that they revive.
Hey man, it's good for Scream Factory and Shop Factory. They're like, yeah, we'll buy them up.
Yep, give them to us.
We'll make them pretty and put a lot of shit in it, and all these geeks will like it, and we do.
Yep, all those old MGM titles.
Yeah, and all the canon ones that they own. So, yeah, we get a tech thriller. Why don't you describe the box art on this? Oh, yeah, by the way, you'd never seen this, right?
I never seen this.
I didn't even know this existed until we saw it in, what was it, like the resale tree? What is that called by us?
Family Tree?
Family Tree.
Family Tree?
Yeah, so if you bought 4 VHSs, you got them for $1. I paid $0.25 for this.
And it is definitely a movie you find at like a thrift store kind of thing. Yeah, that is absolutely this kind of movie. So Antitrust. Here's what our cover is, and I'll read the back too if you don't know what it's about. So Ryan Phillippe, Rachael Leigh Cook, Claire Forlani, and Tim Robbins' names are above the title. We've got in behind the title, we have Tim Robbins on like a bunch of TV screens, kind of blurry, looking kind of like with his hands out in front of him, very like godlike almost. And underneath him is Rachael Leigh Cook, Ryan Phillippe, and Claire Forlani, looking distressed, serious, right at the camera. The floating heads posters that we know and love and hate from the late 90s, early 2000s. And then it says a clever paranoid thriller from the Wall Street Journal as the review on the front. Here's the back. Here's what this is about. We got another review here too. A cutting-edge, nail-biting thrill ride. National News Syndicate. In a world where unseen enemies can watch your every move, who can you trust? Ryan Phillippe, Cruel Intentions. Rachael Leigh Cook, She's All That. Claire Forlani, Meet Joe Black. And Oscar nominee Tim Robbins star in this fast-paced, sizzling thriller that crackles with genuine intrigue. Entertainment today. Considerable suspense and ingenious, stunningly cinematic payoff. The Los Angeles Times. You have to see to believe. Young, brilliant computer whiz Milo Hoffman, Phillippe, lands an exciting and lucrative job at the world's largest computer company, Nerve. Handpicked by powerful CEO Gary Winston, Robbins, to work on a project that will change the way the world communicates. Milo thinks he's found his dream job, but when his best friend Teddy is brutally murdered and clues lead to Nerve's involvement, Milo becomes obsessed with uncovering the truth. With his cunning and beautiful girlfriend, Forlani, and a sexy programmer, Cook, to help him, Milo races to beat Teddy's murders at their own cyber game. But as they close in on him, he realizes he may be too late to learn the most important code of all. Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. And know which are which before you're killed. It's a long.
Did you enjoy the book you just read?
That is the font is tiny.
I know.
On the back here.
So last night when I watched this, I looked at the description on the back. And as soon as I saw it like that, I go, nah, I'm done. I don't care. I'll watch the trailer.
It's so long.
Oh, and this trailer is so just like 90s thriller, like where everyone's like possibly a suspect.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, whatever. This is like a perfect role for Tim Robbins, though. I think he nails it.
Oh yeah, this is like a Tim Robbins special here. Like this is his career. This is his bread and butter here.
He does a lot of these political type guys.
Mm-hmm.
in Power. Sometimes he's good, but he has problems, and then sometimes he's just bad. Tim Robbins is just good.
Yeah, he's a good actor. The reason he's as famous as he is for a reason.
Yeah, and then you get Ryan Phillippe just looking at him like a dumb shit sometimes. Like, there was parts of me where I'm like, Ryan Phillippe, I think, can act. Is it Phillippe? Is it Phillippe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, penal here. Phillippe, there's sometimes where I'm like, I think he can act. And then there's other times where he just has that dumb look on his face when I want to slap him.
Yeah, I think he can act now. Like, I've seen him in more recent stuff, and I'm like, yeah, Ryan Phillippe can act. But when I see him in stuff like this, like kind of the post I Know What You Did Last Summers, I'm like, he hasn't quite snapped into it yet, you know? Like, he's not quite a good actor yet.
No, and he's got that, like, mouth just slightly open look where I'm like, the
late 90s hot guy look.
Yeah.
That's all he's kind of going for here.
And Rachael Leigh Cook's barely in this film.
Yeah, for this being second build, she's really just kind of pops up. But she was the it girl at this time. So it makes sense that it's like she doesn't have to be.
I only know her for one movie, though.
Yeah, but she was like hot. She was everywhere. She was on all the magazine covers. She was she was everywhere for a minute.
Well, she was 4'2". So she is tiny.
I believe it.
Yeah.
She looks like she would be.
I just remember from the drugs commercial.
This is your brain. And this is heroin. This is what happens to your brain after snorting heroin. And this is what your body goes through. Wait, it's not over yet. This is what your family goes through. And your friends and your mind. And your job and your self-respect and your future. And your life. Any questions?
And what is it? She's All That.
Yeah, the one they list on the back here. Yeah,
that's it.
I definitely see Claire Forlani in more things probably around this time.
Now, Claire Forlani is like, she's kind of like the poor Angelina Jolie look. Like her eyes, like her like cat Egyptian eyes.
Yeah, they definitely do that kind of look on her.
Yeah,
that's what they're going for.
I'm not saying she's a bad actress. I actually think she does quite well in her role because she always seems to be nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning, I was just like, why is she so? She always seems like quiet, mouse, nervous, kind of, but she's like also hiding it. And then later in the film, I go, oh, okay, yeah, okay. I don't know. I think she did fine. I can't judge Cook because she's in like,
3 scenes in the whole movie.
I don't understand.
She's just supposed to be the hot girl that works there that like gives him attention. That's basically her purpose in the movie, which isn't very much of a purpose.
Yeah, and Tim Robbins just absolutely carries this film.
Yeah, he's the adult on set here with the kids.
He got the biggest paycheck.
Probably. He's the and. Yeah. So yeah. But yeah, we popped this tape in here, and we only get one thing. We get the MGM Means Great Movies montage that we have seen and talked about 100 times.
I'm pretty sure
I've got this thing memorized by now.
Pretty sure it was in Carrie 2.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe something else that we watched. We've probably seen this 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, it's got like the Sounds of the Lambs thing, the Moonstruck scene. Like you've seen if you have seen one MGM tape, you have seen this Means Great Movie montage.
Yeah, and I think like when I'm searching for trailers on some of my weird VHS tapes, every time I see MGM on it, I'm like, fuck. Because I know what I'm going to get. Yeah. I'm going to get that damn thing.
And probably no other trailers. Because they don't tend to put a lot of trailers on their tapes.
I don't know why. Advertise your movies other than the late greats. Yeah. But maybe they just like, these are shit.
Yeah, I mean, they probably... I don't think Antitrust was a big hit for them. So they probably were just like... Plus the movie's long as shit. So they probably had to like no room on the tape. And they were like, just put the montage on it.
So this movie took me about 3.5 hours to get through.
Really?
I'm pretty sure I started at like 7 o'clock and ended at 10:30.
This was a one go for me. I made it through this one all in one sitting. But it's kind of funny. I guess we'll go right into the feature presentation here.
And now, our feature presentation.
As we get into the movie, the tape that you have purchased for 25 cents, the first 20 to 25 minutes are just wrecked. Like the tape is just wrecked, and this was all I had. This is what I had access to. So I was like, We're watching it like this. So my knowledge of the first 20 or so minutes is fuzzy because the movie was fuzzy.
Yeah, it sucked. I actually quit and then watched it on a really sketchy website.
An antitrust kind of website.
Yeah. So, I mean, it was fine. It was broken up into 3 parts on that, and that's why it took me so long. I go, all right, that one's done. I don't have to come back for a while.
Yeah, you can take a break. Yeah. I just powered through it, but I was able to piece together. I knew what was going on. I could figure it out. I've seen a 90s movie or two, so I was able to figure everything out.
Well, it's a $30 million budget, and it worldwide it made 18.1.
Yes,
so
lost money.
Yeah, I don't know how much marketing this did, but this could have lost probably about $20 million.
I will say I do remember the trailer and the TV spots from the 2000s. I saw this when it was coming out.
I don't.
But I never saw the movie. But I remember the advertisements because I was like, oh yeah, another young hot people movie because that's what they advertised it as.
I do remember the Hyde Park Entertainment that came on. It was the production studio that did this. So I think MGM's worked with them quite a bit. I've seen their logo. I think they're done now. They're gone.
I actually was going to say I think they're still around.
Oh, are they?
But they don't do as much. They just they're around. But yeah, they're not. They're I think a little more selective now. Mm-hmm. I don't think they do as many of just like these kind of quick and dirty kids movies.
No, they do at least they used to do a lot of thrillers.
Yeah,
thriller types.
Yes.
And so they probably found their niche, and then this one failed big time, and they probably swallowed a pretty nasty pill.
I'm sure they put up. I'm sure they put up more of the money, and MGM just kind of released it.
Yeah.
So
MGM might not have lost a ton of money on this, but these production studios. It's what a lot of people don't realize. Sometimes these production studios will be like, if it's $30 million, they're like, we'll put up 20 if you give us 10.
Yeah.
But the distributors are like, yeah, but we get the first, dollar bills on top.
Right.
And then you don't get anything until we get past a certain point.
Right.
And that's rough.
And, sometimes like the studios like an MGM will finance the movies, and sometimes they'll buy them from or put, like you're saying, put in. So like there's all these ways that it breaks down or whatever, but like the way that this one sounds to me is what you were just talking about.
Yeah.
Like I really think this was like Hyde Park probably put up 20 and MGM probably came in with the last 10 and we're like, yeah, we'll put it out. And then they made whatever they made that 18 million, and we're like, sorry, Hyde Park, you just lost 20 million.
I think that's kind of what MGM did for a while when they were, they're like, okay, we'll give you some money, but we take the money on top because it's so expensive to distribute all this stuff, and that's probably why there's no trailers on this because it's not an MGM. Like they're taking it into their library,
right? But they didn't put up the money to make it. All of it anyway.
I wonder if that happened, like with the Carrie 2s and stuff like that. I should pay attention to that stuff, like who's doing these, and see like how many movies did they do after something bombs.
Right. Yeah, it'd be an interesting track to go down, especially probably with MGM too, because they had such a tumultuous history, like in the 90s, 2000s, and today, like up and down.
So, we get into this, and it's the basic, like, Silicon Valley. These kids are really smart developer programmers. One is just like, I'll never work for the man. And, Ryan Phillippe's character's like, I'll check it out.
Yeah, and gets roped in by this, like, big, charismatic figure, Tim Robbins, who's doing a Bill Gates thing.
Yeah, and his Tim Robbins character, Gary Winston.
Yeah, so he gets taken under nerve.
Yeah, and it's kind of Google-ish too, the way they put all the giant I don't know, there's like a keyboard in the front of their place and like all of them meet in a big group. It really kind of felt Google.
Yeah. They call like the space where all like the people in Ryan Phillippe's department the egg.
Yeah.
And they all nest in the egg and they all work on this program, which is going to be like this program where it connects all devices. So it actually, in a way, this is a little ahead of its time.
It is.
Where it's thinking about like the tech conglomerate coming in to connect all devices. And there's a spot later on in the movie where I like kind of perked up, and it's where they're going to expose them because they're just going to use it for surveillance, obviously. And they're going to expose them for it. And they're researching, and they find that the company Nerve is invested in like CBS and NBC and like Disney has a stake in it or whatever. Everybody's involved, so it's like they can't go to any of these networks to expose them because they've got money in all of them. And I was like, ooh, this is interesting. But that's like the interesting part of the movie, and the rest of it is not very interesting.
No, this movie is boring.
This hour and 52-minute movie is mostly a snooze.
There were a few times when like you see a character actor somewhere, or you did like when I heard Disney, and I was like, "Oh, Disney probably didn't like that."
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, they're talking shit about all of the conglomerates. I'm in on this," and then that's the end of the scene, and then I checked out again.
Yeah, it's just a teeny tiny, like little thing. I don't know what that was. I'm surprised they didn't mention Apple.
Yeah, I think this was a little bit before kind of Apple really started making waves, though.
No, this is 2001. This is right when Apple was making the waves.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. It like you said, like it was kind of a Steve Jobsy thing, but I really got like the Bill Gates vibe. So maybe they were just really just going after Gates.
I think it was Google, Gates, Steve Jobs, and then whatever else, because this was like also like the adults don't trust the kids movie. Mm-hmm. Like, what are you doing in your basement? Mm-hmm. And then like the government was coming down on like development. I did not get, I just didn't understand who they were pointing the finger at as bad, because even when like you said, when they mentioned ABC, CBS and everything, I was like, okay, are we going after the big media conglomerates? But they never do.
They never really go further than that with that. Yeah. I think this movie's whole thing in sort of its tech message or whatever is open source. That's this whole movie's thing. Yeah. They want open source everything, and that's like what this movie's standing for. It's like, I think that's the whole, because that's the end of the movie. They go like, oh, you put it all out there. Do you think open source is the future? And like Ryan Phillippe like smiles and looks at the camera. That's basically like the end of the movie. So like this is like a pro open source movie.
It's weird. It's like there's a lot of different directions in this movie, and it never really feels like it focuses properly on one to get a message across. Yeah. It just feels like, let kids be kids. Open source everything. And by the way, don't murder.
Yeah, because the guy who is like, I'll never sell out, I just want to work in the garage and program or whatever, he gets murdered by somebody working for the Nerve company, and they make it look like it's like this hate group in the area they're in or whatever. Mm-hmm. But they like straight up murder him or to get his thing that he cracked, to get the program that he cracked.
Yeah, and it's Ryan Phillippe's character, I did it again, Phillippe. Milo Hoffman goes and works there. He's putting together Synapse, this program that will connect everything. And then we just sort of unravel the story. It turns out his girlfriend was actually working for Synapse. And
then so he's going to team up with Rachael Leigh Cook, and they're going to take him down. Twist again, Rachael Leigh Cook's in on it, and Claire Forlani only kind of wanted to be in on it, but feels bad about it.
Yeah, I mean, I did understand her portion of it. Her character, Alice, the original girlfriend, well, the girlfriend the whole time until the end, where she did something fucked up in the past, and they basically leveraged that against her, spy on him or we'll send you back. Right. Which I assume prison. I saw a mugshot.
Yeah. And there's a mugshot. She's not going by her real name. But then in the end, when she's exposed, she of course tells him it wasn't all fake. She really did like him or whatever.
Yeah, there's a lot of predictable stuff in here. I called it pretty quick when the security guard that all the tech people hate, and I'm like, he'll help him at the end. Yeah,
and I called both of the girls being in on it right away. I was like, yeah, they're in on it.
See, I knew Rachael Leigh Cook would be. It just seemed like she's barely in the movie. She has to do something, so they have to spice up her character. And then I don't even know when they really revealed it, other than when Tyler Labine's character Redmond comes in at the end, and she's like, "I took care of it." Yeah,
and that's kind of it. I did a double take when they revealed her, though. They really did it very nonchalantly and almost like an afterthought, because then she's just not in the rest of the movie. There's not much left after that point, but she's just gone. She's not even a part of the story anymore.
I'm wondering if they cut some of her scenes.
Maybe, because she is second billed. Yeah. And maybe it's just because she was so popular at the time, or they cut it. hopefully the movie, they could have cut more because the movie is an hour and 52 minutes long.
Yeah, his whole shit where, he goes in and he investigates in the nursery to find all, like, I was like, that's not quite how this works. Like, he finds, what fucking company would put why would they keep all the evidence?
Yeah.
And two, why would they put it all in one folder?
Right. That basically is labeled murderous stuff we did.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that's not how that works. No one's that bad. Maybe if he would have found like one story and then investigation would have exploded from it, okay.
Nope, he just opens a folder and then he finds all the information that like could condemn them, but he can't open the video of them killing his friend. But then he like puts in he keys in something and then it just opens. Like it's like he's a hacker man, hacked it, and then it opens like a second later. But that's like the one video he has trouble with is the one of his friend getting killed.
His friends, I mean, when they beat this shit, they kill his friend. I was surprised, like they were showing the bat smash his head.
Yeah, they were beating the shit out of that guy.
I was like, oh wow, okay. And when you find out it's Tyler Labine Redmond, is it Labine?
I think it's Labine.
Labine?
Yeah.
Okay. You've seen him before if you looked him up. He's been in quite a bit.
Yeah, Tucker and Dale.
But Tucker and Dale's my...
Reaper, that awesome show.
Oh, that's right,
the first 2 seasons were awesome. Yeah. Last season was a shit. But, yeah, he's been around, and he's still around. He's a very funny guy. Lovable. I didn't know he was acting in 2000.
No. And I forgot he was in the movie.
Like, yeah, he did. He's in the beginning where he's the guy that introduces Ryan Phillippe to everybody who works there, and then he's not in the rest of the movie, and then he comes in at the end and is like, I'm in on it, and it's like, yeah, duh.
I didn't call he was in on it at all because I forgot he was in the film.
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to come back to him at all, though.
Yeah, because when he came back, I go, oh, he's the killer? Shit, I never predicted that. I forgot you were here. I'm like, you got me with that one. But yeah, Richard Roundtree, which is like an FBI agent at the beginning, like, I thought that was clever. How he handed him the card. He's like, you see anything fucked up there, do the right thing, come back to me. And then when he does come back, and I think he notices him and Winston both went to the same college.
Yeah, there's a picture of the two of them together, and he's like, this guy's he's in on it too. Can't trust anybody.
That's clever though. I like it. Because before you even get into the place, they send an FBI guy. I also love his fucking proposal. He's like, listen, come work for us. We're doing a lot of good things in the government. I can give you $42,000 in a Buick. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, and he does. He gets a new car from Nerve and everything too.
Yeah.
They definitely. It's one of those. They don't focus on it so much, but it's totally like one of those movies where it's like the guy goes from nothing to have like everything. Like he's buying a house with the girlfriend now, and he gets the keys to his new car, and he's got access to all this tech and stuff like that. But, like, they don't really focus on, like, this sort of rags to riches story. They were just, like, right into the paranoia.
Yeah, I thought it was going to maybe slide into... It would have been amazing if it had been like, and one day it's all going to be on your phone, so that's how we're going to track you. We don't even have to put cameras in your room or, like, tracking devices in your car or, like, hack into all these security cameras. We're going to fucking follow you with this, Synapse. But they never go into that. And I'm like, oh, come on.
And they were almost there. They really were almost there.
But they spent so much time of Ryan Phillippe's character, like, trying to figure out the mystery. Like, cut that shit out. The mystery was easy. He could have just been, like, working one day and then found these fucked up files and been like, what?
Yeah, and then the movie could have been an hour and a half, and it probably would have been a little better.
Yeah, I did like how Tim Robbins' character was just so in love with his like development. And what was up with the chips? They never do anything with the potato chips, but every time they show him, they kept showing him eating chips. At the beginning when he meets, Hoffman, Milo, and then like when he's showing off all of his development code, he's eating Pringles, and then he's eating Lay's, and I go, and then product placement like no other. There's Pepsi. I'm like, okay, so the chips are going to be like he'll smash him in his face or something to get away. Like every fucking scene they showed him was chips, and then it just stopped.
I think what it was the way of saying that like he's in bed with everything. Like he's in with Pepsi, he's in with Lay's, he's in with like he is in a company that is like in with all these other major companies. I think that's what it was trying to do.
I don't know.
Because then later when they do the scene what they talk about like ABC, Disney and stuff like that, like I feel like that's what it was supposed to allude to.
Yeah, I know it could have been something that, like Tim Robbins just added to the character. He'd been like, oh, it'd be funny if he's just like a normal guy and he eats chips when he's nervous or thinking or something.
And it could be that too, like a Tim Robbins choice.
I just but they really focused on eating the chips in 3 scenes, and then it was just like,
They never really do anything with it.
I do like when he first gets in on his first day, he's like, okay, this is the CD of him showing off the new Synapse that needs to be launched in 42 days. Which, by the way, this movie kind of had a counting clock, but it does come back at the end of like when they're launching, like sending everyone out the truth. But like I forgot to focus on like the days of it like ticking down.
Yeah,
because I just didn't care.
It doesn't. Well, it also doesn't like use that to its advantage. There's no ticking clock here. There's no like. You're never cutting to Ryan Phillippe going like, we have like 2 days. We have to like get this out now. Like there's no pressure on them. Like they kind of just find all the footage and all the stuff that's going to expose them. And they're like, all right, well, let's just go to this satellite and then have this security guard help us and we'll just broadcast it everywhere. Then they do. And then that's it.
I did like how it was Silicon Valley and I didn't see one Chinese...
Except for the guy they kill.
Yeah, and I'm like, it's Silicon Valley. Do you know?
Yeah, it's all white people. Just a lot of white people because it's 1999, 2000, 2001.
I was like, oh, so all these developers are white. That's inaccurate.
I don't know. There's not a lot really else to this movie that I can think of that I grabbed onto.
There's not. I mean, there was a B-plot where Ryan Phillippe's character Milo has like a deathly allergic reaction to sesame seeds.
Oh yeah, they're keeping the information on what affects their people that work for them so they could use it against them if they ever need to kill them to steal their shit.
Yeah, and then they showed that Rachael Leigh Cook's character was molested by her dad, and they like make it a big deal to be shown, but then it's just gone.
Because they do nothing with her.
Yeah,
she's just bad in the end, and then she disappears.
There's just a lot of wasted minutes.
Yeah, that middle is just a slog in this movie. The middle portion, like the end when they're starting to get it together and they're gonna put it, on the satellite or whatever. Fine, it's not super exciting, but like you're building to a climax. The middle, man. That is where this movie really drags.
You know what I was hoping they do at the end here? When, when Gary Winston gets caught and everything. I was hoping, because they started to set it up at the end, where he was just like, I was, renegade employees were doing all this and yada yada. You know what I was hoping? And they showed a bunch of news clips and everything where he gets away with it and then goes on to still rule. But, like, maybe then gets sued and loses a lot of money and they kick him out of his, like he's no longer the CEO or the president or whatever. I was hoping it would go in that direction, kind of like the O.J. Simpson. Sure, you got away with it, but, like, later on it's set.
You do something else stupid, you get caught and then you go to jail for both things, kind of.
Of something, because it would be more realistic. Like, they get away with the huge murder because they planted on someone else, but then they kind of just, like, slowly dwindle.
I said out loud when it was over and he was giving that speech or whatever, he's like, I'll get away with it. I was like, if this was today, absolutely this guy would get away with it.
Well, people think...
Because people get away with this. But, like, I feel like in the pre-9/11 era, we wanted to still think that the bad guys would go down. So, like, of course, he goes down at the end. But, like,
which is still
nowadays,
bullshit.
That guy would get away.
It's still bullshit. People with power got away with stuff forever.
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying in terms of the movies.
You're right.
Cinema. Pre-9/11, of course, that guy went down. Nowadays, that guy would still be fucking...
If it would have came out in 2004, it would have ended in, like, a fucking doomsday scenario. Like,
yeah,
it would have launched
the world.
No one would have believed him. Everyone would have said that as a joke. It was edited. By the way, the whole, like, evidence of how it being edited together, and I'm like, when did you have time to do that?
Yeah. And also, like, not very condemning. Like, yeah, it's audio clips of him, but it's like, you could have made that. Like, there's no video.
But
the only video is the beating of the guy. That's it.
It never shows Gary Winston doing a damn thing illegal.
Right. It's just him saying, like, by any means necessary. And it's like, yeah, that's not him saying
that's
by
not
any means
evidence.
Necessary is not evidence.
It's stupid. I wish he would have got away with it.
I think if this movie were made today, it would have.
No, I just it would have been more realistic.
Yeah.
In a movie that was actually really, there's certain scenes where I'm like, well, that's not how that works. Like at the beginning when they're like showing this, like developers that were like rewriting like masterful code, it was HTML. Mm-hmm. And if you know anything, HTML is not complicated.
Back in 2000, we were still learning computers.
Like when they finally got, like I started to see some C+, and I was like, okay, all right, someone knew something in 2001, but I don't know, whatever.
It's a lot of dead technology in this. A lot of CDs, CD-ROMs, not flash drives, floppy disks. Like it's very outdated shit in this.
I got news for you. The movie's dead. It was just dead on arrival.
It was. I did. So when I did some like research on the movie, I did very light research because like honestly, by the time the movie was over, I like just didn't care. I was like, all right, I finished it, whatever. But I was like, I'll look at, and it has gained a little bit of a following in the last couple of years, probably nostalgia. Yeah. People who grew up watching it or whatever, which was not me. So like I have no feelings like that towards this. But like there have been some articles and stuff being like, oh, they were, especially at the end of the movie, they were kind of on the pulse of things and like the connected devices and the ownership. Nerve has stake in everything. They're like, those were kind of interesting things that this movie explored, which I agree with. They were interesting things the movie explored, but didn't really do much with. But there is kind of a nostalgia fondness for this movie now.
I don't think they explored it. They touched on it. Like, that's not the right word to describe it. Exploring it would be going down the rabbit hole.
I wish they explored it.
Yes.
They instead just mentioned it.
Yeah, so I don't know. This is a snooze fest to me. I wouldn't recommend this. I just don't think this brings anything fun other than what we just said.
Yeah,
but it's not a lie. They just touched on it because most of this movie is just like, oh, just end.
Yeah, it's like we know he's gonna learn that these guys are bad. We know these guys are bad. Just get us there. We don't need to watch him be paranoid for an hour and like not really figure anything out until the second half. Like. We don't need all that. We know that he's going to figure it out. We know these guys are bad. And then I want to see him form a plan to take them down. Like, I want to spend time on that, not what we spent time on.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Let's get into the museum.
This is the second time I've had to reclaim my property from you.
That belongs in a museum.
So do you.
This is the part of the show where we go out like Indy into the film jungle and bring something back to our museum, good or bad. I guess I'll go first. I don't know what to say about this. You know what? Tim Robbins, you did a good job.
Yeah, he's good in it. I agree. He's fun to watch in this. I like him as this. I would love to see him do like a straight up Steve Jobs character at some point. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be really fun to watch. Yeah, he's fun. I'm gonna put in a lump of coal and this time, and I think it just comes down to the runtime. When you're making a movie like this, it should move, and this movie moves for a while at the beginning, stops for like an hour, and then moves a little bit at the end. Like that's not how the structure of this movie. I don't know if I'm putting the runtime as like a lump of coal or the pace. I don't know which of the two is really the problem here, but both, I guess. But like, yeah, your second act should move a little bit faster than this movie's second act did.
Yeah,
it was a slug.
Definitely. And I always love it when they tried really hard to make like typing dramatic.
Yeah, like watching people code is not interesting to me. Watching people like type and or like listen to audio, it's not. You're watching a lot of passive things in this movie. And I'm watching a movie, so I need some more active things.
Yeah, none of the like main characters, good guys, or not even good guys, but like the main circle of characters, none of them die.
No, we have one death in the sort of sphere of the characters in the movie with the Asian best friend guy. That's it.
And he was barely in the film.
And he's barely in it, so we didn't have much investment in him. Yeah, this is a shame, really, honestly, overall. Like, I think this is just a big shame because I am very forgiving of this period of movies because these are the movies that were like during my coming of age in falling in love with movies again and stuff like that. Like, I forgive a lot from this time period. A lot. And like this one, I was just like, I can't, there's nothing for me here.
Yeah, it's not good. I don't recommend it. I'd say just move on.
Skip it. Skip Antitrust. Even if you see it for 25 cents, just leave it there.
Yep. All right, we're totally on agreement. So we'll come back next week with our best of 2019.
I know you guys have been anxiously awaiting our useless opinion on 2019, but we will give it to you. I know those are popular episodes. So
we're never wrong.
We're going to be right about everything, I promise.
YouTube definitely lets me know that we're always right.
That's right.
Fuck you guys and all your dumb negative opinions. But I love you people that give something positive.
Yes. Positivity. Put more of it in the world.
Stop asking us to put up the movies, you dicks. And I'll end on that. Remember to be kind.
And rewind.